Mark Tele'a walking away from New Zealand rugby might be just the worst time departure the All Blacks have seen in years. Not because he's just in his prime, but because he might have been the one to carry them into redemption arc for the 2027 Rugby World Cup. And yet, he's leaving. Some fans are calling it a betrayal. Others say he's just doing what so many modern players do, chasing the yen. Either way, what's clear is this. Mark Tele'a's exit is more than just another player heading offshore. It's a signal. And if you look closely at how it unfolded, the story is way bigger than most people realise. Mark Tele'a's rugby career didn't exactly start with fireworks. In fact, for a while, he was one of those guys you heard about in the background. Solid, dependable, but not headline material. That all changed in 2022 when the All Blacks finally gave him a shot. His Test debut, electric. He scored 2 tries against Scotland like it was just another Saturday at the park. And suddenly, everyone was asking the same question. Where has this guy been? From the first match, it was obvious Tele'a wasn't just another winger. His footwork was something out of a video game, and his ability to break tackles in tight spaces had commentators scrambling for questions. He didn't just play his debut, he dominated it. And within months, he wasn't just on the team, he was a starting lock in New Zealand's backline strategy. By the time the 2023 Rugby World Cup came around, Tele'a was already drawing comparisons to some of the greats. He made headlines again when he scored the fastest opening try of the tournament. Within minutes, the game had cracked wide open, and fans across the world were buzzing. That moment, for many, was when they realised just how dangerous this guy could be when the stakes were high. But it wasn't just flair. Tele'a brought physicality and work ethic. Off the field, he stayed humble. On it, he played like every game was his last. Driving into breakdowns, smashing through contact, running back on cover defence like a loose forward. It was this mix of humility and chaos that earned him the World Cup Breakthrough Player of the Year in 2023, a title that only a handful of All Blacks have ever claimed. At Super Rugby level, Tele'a was even more monstrous. In 2023 and 2024, he played a massive role in pushing the Blues back into dominance. After more than 2 decades without a title, the Blues finally broke their drought. And yes, you can credit a strong forward pack, smart tactics and plenty of depth. But ask any fan who the spark plug was. That one guy who could turn a stale attacking line into a highlight reel. It was always Mark Tele'a. Try after try, line break after line break, he made defenders look silly. His 2024 stats were off the charts. Top 3 in the try scored, line breaks and defenders beaten. That's not hype, that's data. And with the All Blacks rebuilding under Scott Robertson, everyone expected Tele'a to be the centrepiece of a new era. So when the news broke that he was leaving, not in 2026, not in 2027, now, it didn't just catch the fans off guard, it shocked them. The 28-year-old confirmed he'll be heading to Japan at the end of the Super Rugby 2025 Pacific season. His next stop, Toyota Verblitz. The same club stacked with cash, ambition, and a couple of familiar faces. Ian Foster, former All Blacks coach, and Steve Hansen, another former All Blacks coach, who's been involved with the team. It's no accident that those guys are there, and now Tele'a joins them. In a public statement, he kept things classy. It's been an amazing ride, he said. So many fantastic memories and amazing people. But after much thought, I've decided from next year I will play my rugby in Japan. He thanked his teammates, coaches and fans. But behind the politeness, you could sense that there was more to the story. Players moving to Japan or France isn't new. What makes us different is the timing. Tele'a's at his peak. He's not winding down or dealing with injuries. He's the kind of player most fans assumed would be guaranteed pick for the 2027 Rugby World Cup. Especially with New Zealand's depth being tested more than ever, losing someone like Tele'a isn't just unfortunate, it's costly. And here's where things get murky. Officially, Tele'a could still be picked for the All Blacks in 2024. There's no hard rule that bans him yet. But the reality, once a player signs overseas, their name usually slips off the selector's whiteboard, especially under new leadership. With Robinson looking to build a squad committed to the long haul, bringing in a guy who won't be around for the next World Cup, that's a tough call. And a deeper question is, why did he really leave? Was it just the money? Japanese clubs are known to pay handsomely. Some players even earn 7 figures in a shorter season and less physical toll. For someone like Tele'a, who's given everything on the field and taken some brutal hits, that lifestyle has an appeal. Or was it something else? A loyalty to Foster? A sense that maybe his style wouldn't suit Robinson's new game plan? Maybe Tele'a saw the writing on the wall. Maybe he didn't like where things were headed. There's also the possibility that Tele'a felt unappreciated. He didn't get the superstar marketing treatment that some others received. There were even rumours that he clashed with internal management over off-field expectations and lifestyle. None of that has been confirmed, but it raises questions. Did he leave because he wanted to, or because he felt he had to? Another layer to this growing trend of New Zealand players leaving earlier. The classic career path, become an All Black, stay loyal, retire at home, is fast fading. These days, loyalty often takes a back seat to long-term financial security. And who can blame them? With careers so short and injuries so frequent, it's no surprise that players are chasing stability. Still, there's something about Tele'a's move that stings. Maybe it's the timing. Maybe it's the fact that he's finally the kind of player the All Blacks needed. Unpredictable, explosive, game-breaking, and just like that, he's gone. Fans can expect change, but the struggle with what feels like unfinished business, Tele'a was just getting started. And then there's the bigger picture. What does this mean for the All Blacks? The 2023 World Cup exit was painful, but it also signalled the start of a rebuild, a changing of the guard. Robinson was brought in with a clear mission: restore dominance, rebuild a culture that started to frail. Guys like Tele'a were supposed to be the pillars of the new structure. Losing him so early is like watching your foundation crack before you even pour the concrete. And when you scan the list of New Zealand's current wingers, yes, there's talent. Will Jordan, Lester Whānuku, Caleb Clark. But none of them bring the same blend of street-smart rugby, footwork and physical chaos that Tele'a does. He's hard to replace, not just because of what he does, but because of how he does it. For now, all fans can do is watch and wonder. Will he be called up later this year, despite being Japan-bound? Will Robinson make an exception, or send a message that overseas deals mean you're out? Will Tele'a dominate in Japan and leave Kiwi fans wondering what could have been? Or, and this might be the biggest twist of all, could he come back? Plenty of players have done it. Play a few seasons overseas, come home refreshed, and slot right back into black. But by then, it might be too late. The 2027 Rugby World Cup cycle will be well underway. Systems will be settled, cohesion will matter more than individual magic. And sometimes, rugby doesn't wait for anyone, not even the best. In the end, Tele'a's story isn't just about one man's decision. It's about modern rugby's identity crisis. Passion versus profession. Loyalty versus livelihood. Legacy versus lifestyle. And in that storm, Mark Tele'a's made his decision. Only time will tell if New Zealand regrets letting him go. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more breakdowns on the biggest rugby stories. And drop your thoughts below. Did Tele'a leave too early, or was this a smart move? See you next time.